Okay, so it's recording. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so I think they said all about myself. So don't mind me that picture. I took that picture in China when I was about finishing my master's and having my defense. Yeah, it was a really lovely day. So okay, let me just go straight to the point. So before I begin, like I said, I'll be talking about navigating through school and internships, and just as a little subtopic, I'll just be talking about just some basically what I think undergraduate education is about and how to just permeate through it, and just a little about how to use it as a preparation for what lies ahead. So that's all I'll be talking about today briefly. So don't mind this GIS. I love to play a lot. So I actually wasn't technically supposed to study geophysics. Actually, I wanted to study petroleum engineering, and the thing was the admission for applied geophysics came before the petroleum engineering. So I already paid the acceptance fee and everything, and I was in FUTA, and I was like, when the petroleum engineering, when the whole admission list comes out, I'll just leave it. When it came out, I was just convinced briefly by my parents, but well, I thought probably whatever, I don't know, I didn't know the reason why. I just thought, well, come on, there's no problem. If it's what they want, I could just do it. And then when I'm done, I'll start all over again to get a different bachelor's degree. So that was my plan initially, but then in the second year, I think in FUTA, I basically began to understand. That was when we began to have coursework, right? I don't know if it's changed, but when I was there, for the first year, there was no geophysics coursework. It was just geology, math, physics, and the rest. So generally, I began to basically put more interest in my second year. And then I think in my fourth year, basically, I then knew what I wanted specifically from geophysics. So one thing that you have to understand is this, that I've basically grown to understand is, when you see a scientist, maybe a physical scientist, a physicist, a chemist, or something, a biologist, when they want to do any study, they begin with an observation. When they have an observation, the next thing is to have a kind of prediction, like, okay, this will be the way this system or this thing is going to behave. After the prediction, then they carry out an experiment. So when the experiment is done, then they get the result, they analyze the result, and then they come up with a hypothesis. So that's basically how the normal scientific flow of our work goes. But for geoscience, it's basically, I don't know, should I say sometimes it's zigzag. You just can never predict it because we are never 100% sure of almost everything we're doing. The highest, I believe, is 99%. And sometimes that 1% can make a whole lot of difference. So it's a different way of thinking as a geoscientist. You're basically a special breed of people because you think in a way that most conventional people cannot really understand except you, actually. So you're the one who has to always convince them that this, my thinking method, is right. So what basically I believe an undergraduate degree is, I think it's just a way of preparing everyone for what life will hold. It's a time where you come and you're prepared for what life will look like, because most times, not all the time, most times, or should I say sometimes, let me use the word some, that's safer. Sometimes you don't get to practice exactly what you studied. Or sometimes even probably you finish with a geophysics degree, maybe when you were undergraduate, you had some, and you were enthusiastic about one aspect of geophysics, you might never practice that aspect. It might be some other aspect you get to practice. So something like that, okay? Or sometimes you get to practice something totally different. So that's how it is lots of times. And also I believe it's somewhere where you have to basically just figure out your life's purpose, okay? What you want to do with it. And then where you have to build some very valuable relationships professionally and otherwise. Now, one thing you have to do is you have your own path. Always remember that. Your path is yours. It's not the same as somebody else's. So always learn to understand it and stick to yours. Whatever you have come to understand is what you want from your life based on what you've understood from your undergraduate program, because I believe that's where most people get exposed to life. Make sure you pursue with all that you have. And then I just wrote some things here briefly. You know, I believe everybody here is a member of SCG. If you're not, I hope you register as soon as the meeting is done, because from lots of these associations, you're definitely going to get a lot, like learning experiences, free webinars, sometimes free books. And then it's very even possible that they sponsor you to a conference, okay? And then you get more exposed. So it's very important that while you're trying to get your undergraduate degree, that you participate in these student body associations. They will definitely help to boost your CV and your confidence level in what you're studying. Also, when you go for conferences, if you do get the opportunity, well, most people go for conferences, and when they are back, you see about 300 selfies, 48. I don't understand. Did you go for a photo shoot or something? It's a place where you need to meet people, where you need to listen to what people have to say about the experience in an industry, in academia, in their research. You get to learn and get to meet people ahead for the internship opportunities, actually. So it's a place where you just don't joke, actually. There are lots of people that I've met over the years, and many of them, I met them in conferences, and some I'm still in contact with today. Maybe not all, anyway, some. So there are places where you get to build some relationship, where you get to network. It's really important. If somebody said that's not important, please, I need you to get that out of your head. Networking is perfectly important, needed, and it's really, really cogent with the way the whole industry is going now and the way the world is going. You just need to have people who can be there to advise you, be there to help lead you to that place that you're going. And also, importantly, it's really important that you keep a good relationship with your professors. Someday you may need references. Someday, okay? And it would be very, very nice to get a reference from someone who taught you while you were an undergraduate student. And one very important thing I also want to say is, during your undergraduate degree, well, people think, oh, it's only when I get a job that I need a LinkedIn account. But you need to have a LinkedIn account as a student. You'll definitely meet lots of people there, even while still being an undergraduate student. And they're definitely going to be able to help you, connect you to where you are going. It is really, really, really important, actually. Some people have gotten internship jobs just from LinkedIn, opportunities that they never thought they could get just from LinkedIn. Sometimes, I don't know, it's like some people live on Instagram and Facebook, and you ask them, do you have a LinkedIn account? And you hear no. It's really strange to me. It's seriously strange, actually, because that is, I believe, the social media network for experts. And also there is one also very important one I didn't put there. It's called Quora. I'm sure many of you know Quora. Quora and LinkedIn are really, really, really wonderful. On Quora, you get to meet some of the most brilliant minds in the world. In the industry, academia, they are all on Quora. If you go to Quora, I personally think there is almost no professor in schools like Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, Oxford, or Stanford that don't have Quora accounts. They're all there. It's a place where people come, intellectuals come to ask questions because they are all there. So if it's those who you feel, oh, they're wealthy, they're on Quora, those who are experiencing on Quora. So these are places where you get to build important relationships, where you get to, from Quora, it's a question and answer platform, right? You ask lots of questions, someone gets to answer them for you. So it's somewhere where you can even make lots of like professional relationship. People notice that, oh, this person is always asking lots of intellectual questions. And even Quora can even get to contact you and say, oh, we're going to be paying you for your questions. Actually, people get paid for asking questions on Quora. So most of these things are important, but if we don't explore them and know them to the fullest extent, we might never know what they have to offer. So next, I'll be talking about internships. I believe that those in fourth year will be going for internship this year. I think second semester, I don't know if it should be changed, but if you've attended conferences before the fourth year, I believe you should have built some relationships, and then they should help take you to that internship you want, okay? It's definitely not easy. That's just the truth. It's not easy, okay? So one thing is that I believe for the internship you want to do, it should be connected to what you figured out you want to spend your life doing, actually. And then most times during your internship, you get to figure out what you really want. Personally, when I was in the fourth year, I was able to, a family who knew someone, who knew another family member who was able to link me up, and then I was able to get an opportunity to intern at Sterling Exploration and Energy Production Company Limited. It's an oil and gas producing company in Delta State. So I was there for about 4 months. And actually, that was when I got to figure out that I am not interested in the industry. That's the truth. That was when I got to figure out that even if I'm interested, it's going to be to work as an R&D person doing research and development. That's what I can do in industry. But then I got to figure out that that part of the industry that I interned on, I can't do it actually. So one thing is this: when you go on internship, you'll figure out indeed what you can cope with, what your plan and aspirations for life align with. Okay, so it's a time where you get to open your eyes, you get to meet people and get them to mentor you. The two people who I met, like very important people I met during internship, I'm still in contact with one till today. We still have that relationship. So this is a place where you get to meet people, they get to talk to you, you get to build relationships, and you get to know exactly what you want. When I was in my 4th year then, during internship, I got to figure out that I wanted to do research actually. Specifically, I began to love something like rock physics and began to read a little about it. That was when I figured that out. And also, just briefly before I round up, I don't know, for those who might have graduate school as a plan, okay, I'm just saying this briefly. One thing you have to know is this: getting into a graduate program, if you don't want to do it in Nigeria, can be a bit tedious, okay? And then one thing is, what do you want to get out of that program, and how do you get in there? Personally, I think, like I said, the relationships you've built over the years, they're definitely going to help you do that actually. So when I finished my undergraduate program, like I said, I knew I wanted to do research. So when I was doing my NYSC, I saved up all the money I saved up during my NYSC. I invested it in writing TOEFL and getting ready for applications. I applied to over 12 programs. I got one. Then many people didn't want to go to China or Asia or something. Well, the one in Europe. Personally, I was the one in Europe, but then the one from China came and I went, and it was really a blessing. I didn't even know that I was applying to basically the best university of science and technology in China. I didn't even know. I didn't know the school. I just said, let me submit this application, and it worked out. So one thing you just have to do is take every opportunity, apply wherever you have to apply to, do whatever you want to do. If you're looking for internships in your 4th year, send the applications to as many places as possible. Don't just put all the eggs in one basket, because it's a time you get to get some wonderful experience. So don't just limit yourself to few places. Try as much as possible, but also make sure there are people who can help at least to link you up with some of these great opportunities. So in summary, I'll be ending now. So what I have learned thus far, I believe, is that like I said, I put in bracket here, if you see the second line, FUTA, I believe, in Nigeria. Frankly speaking, I'm not saying this because I'm speaking on this platform, SCG FUTA, no. I'm saying this frankly, okay? I don't know any university in Nigeria that supports their students to do it as much as FUTA does. Now, one thing you have to know is this, okay? Now, when it was time to apply to various graduate programs, transcripts, letters, or whatever, from maybe the Senate or whatever, I can't lie, compared to almost all the universities I know in Nigeria, it was quite easy. Okay, I know someone in Uniben to get a transcript is like getting a gold, like it's like getting gold from sedimentary rock. Like it's kind of like I don't know how to put it. It's almost impossible. Okay, like so hard. So I don't know which other school in Nigeria supports their students as much as FUTA does, okay? This year, the Erasmus Mundus scholars, I think masters, out of 235 were from FUTA. Like, it's never happened before. So it's a school that I believe supports you to help you out, you know, when you want to apply to anywhere, a company or a school or whatever. They definitely help out with transcript and all those stuff easily, as much as I know. Okay, so that's based on what I know. So I'll just say your path in life, I believe, is carved eternally, but you are the one who decides how you want to go through that eternal path. Make sure you don't take any opportunity for granted. No opportunity is useless. You just never know what to get out of that opportunity. Attend webinars as often as possible. Be unapologetically focused on every goal in your life, and never ever lose mentors that you've gotten along the way. One day you're definitely gonna meet them. One day, I'm very sure of that. And in conclusion, just get the best from every opportunity in life and always remember that life may not be as you want it, okay? I remember when I was applying for masters, there was a time where I got 4 rejection mails in 1 week. I think not one, within 3 days, I got 4 rejection mails. And I, being the person that I was, as I was getting those rejection mails, I was applying to new ones. So I just never gave up, and just please don't give up, okay? And keep mentors close, and ensure to have a LinkedIn account and a Quora account if you can. So thank you for listening, and I hope I was able to say some meaningful things here or there. So thank you very much once again for the opportunity. God bless you. Yeah. So ready yet? Yes, I think I'm done.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Shegun. We really appreciate if you have any questions, please type into the chat box. So we'll bring the questions up after the three speakers have spoken.
Okay, no problem.
All right. So I would like to call on Imole Ayo Fashadba. Imole Ayo Fashadba, are you on the call? I've not been able to reach Imole Ayo. Wow. I don't think Imole Ayo is on the call. Osunrinde Taiwo.
Yeah, good evening. Sorry, good evening here.
Good evening. Please, can you turn on your video?
Okay. Yeah, I think I just did.
All right. Please, Shegun, if you don't mind, can you make Taiwo host? Okay. I think I can. I don't know why I have to. The problem is.
Oh, sorry, my mic is sorry. That was the host now.
I'm coming. Let me check.
I think I've made you the host.
Try out.
It's because the name is displaying as my name. That's
yes.
why. Because I shared the link with you.
Check.
Okay, I think I can check. I can share the screen. Can you also my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Just hold on. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but I think there's an interference over there.
Yeah, I think I'll without my phone. I think I'll block my phone.
All right. I would like to call on Ofe to introduce our speaker. Ofe, please can you introduce Mr. Taiwo?
Good day once again. Our next speaker is Mr. Osunrinde Taiwo. He holds a second-class upper degree honors in applied geophysics from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. He served as a reservoir geoscientist intern at Integrated Data Services Limited, Benin City, Nigeria, where he worked on analyzing and interpreting 3D seismic data for hydrocarbon exploration. He has worked as a geospatial data analyst at Omo Oye Integrated Service Limited, creating digital solutions from data. He also worked as a contract geoscientist with Bokolo Petrochemicals Limited. Mr. Taiwo has a flair for geoscience research. This is evident from his conference presentations and publications. He currently has 3 publications to his name. They include a sequence stratigraphic interpretation of the Olu oil field sediments offshore Niger Delta, Nigeria. B, the 3D geostatical model and volumetric estimation of Del Field, Niger Delta. And the last, field development plan analysis, a case study on X reservoir. Mr. Taiwo is currently pursuing his master's degree in petrophysics at Texas A&M University, Kingsville, USA. He's the president of the American Association of Petroleum Geologists, TAMUC chapter. His research interests are carbon geosequestration, carbon sequestration, and the application of machine learning to petrophysical analysis. Mr. Taiwo, up to you, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and how are you doing today? So, my name is Oshire Taiwo, and I'll be taking us through navigating through school and internship. Yeah, and before I go on, I would like to appreciate. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I would like to appreciate the executive of SEG FUTA chapter for this opportunity to kind of give back to the foundation that made us. Like, yeah, FUTA was like Godode said, FUTA was just a platform to many things, to many success that came. FUTA was just a platform, and Department of Geophysics was one of it. So I would, through my course of presentation, I'll just a brief about me. Yeah, why geophysics, then my journey through FUTA. I would try and kind of shorten it down to what you guys should focus on. That if you are still in school, student chapters, how important is this? Like, how important is this? Internship, a tool that defines your career. Like it goes a long way in what you actually become in life. Then graduate school, the search, the disappointment, yeah, the disappointment, the commitment, and the result. Then I'll talk on mentorship. It's very important. Like what they said, we are very important. So then lastly, I will go on to the conclusion. Now, basically, this is who I am, like my LinkedIn profile, my education background, work experience, and some of my paper. Now, my current research interests, carbon geosequestration, like trying to create a geological model of surface where you can save CO2, then machine learning to the oil and gas industry. Then these are my professional membership. So yes, why geophysics? Like for everybody, I want to believe geophysics is not actually the plan. Like growing up, I actually like, oh, what do you want to become? Every kid, oh, I want to become a doctor. Oh, I want to become a lawyer. Like that was just it. But getting to secondary school, senior secondary school, trying to prepare for IEP exam, I kind of noticed that my biology and agric was kind of just struggling to pass. Like, not that I'm not passing, but it's just struggle, kind of cramming just to pass it. But when it comes to the aspect of physics, aspect of technical drawing, I was much more interested. So I kind of, okay, then I have a couple of friends that kind of like, Taiwo, what do you want to go and do in medical school? Like, you will not do well. And absolutely, if I've gone, I might probably not do well because my biology was not just it. So I decided to go for an engineering major. So I applied to UI. Then JAM was choice, first choice, second choice. So my first choice of university was UI, which was petroleum engineering. Like, going to the fuel station to get fuel. Sometimes I just imagine that stuff, the fuel should kind of get onto your hand. You kind of feel the solvent's cold. So I kind of, what is like, how does this fuel come about? So I was kind of interested in knowing the science behind it. So I decided to go for petroleum engineering at the University of Ibadan. Well, first choice, I didn't get it. Then FUTA was the second choice. So FUTA applied geophysics. That was something similar or close to the petroleum industry because in FUTA, like there was no petroleum engineering in FUTA. So everything close to it is geophysics. So that was my second choice. And UI denied admission. Yeah. Then FUTA came calling September 25th, 2011, and it became the aim for the next 5 years, and it kind of instilled some form of success to me. Like look at this guy here. It's kind of telling you Bible says like this guy here can find a lot of oil and gas. Like, so don't mind the guy. So that was just the reason why geophysics. That was what started. How geophysics started. Like that was how geophysics started. It was not like, oh, I knew about geophysics. It was something that led to it that made me kind of research. You want to go to FUTA, you want to have a second choice, and you are kind of looking over a course of study, and you already have a first interest, and it was not there in FUTA, so I just had to kind of take up another option, and I never regretted it. It was a decision that I didn't regret. And so yeah, my journey through FUTA, yeah, it was kind of stressful. I need to just tell us that geophysics, geoscience schools generally, it's kind of stressful, but believe me, it's worth it. And if you are dedicated, if you know what you are doing, if you can develop yourself outside of what's being taught in school, like what I taught in school is just a prerequisite. It's just a prerequisite to many other things that will happen to you. So you don't want to just stick yourself to only what you are taught in school. You want to go outside of what you are taught in school. So it was not always a smooth journey, but it was a journey that was worth it. Then I would like to talk on your CGPA, right? You have to start well. Like there's nothing to say about it. You just have to start well. You just have to start well. Like a lot of things will happen on the way, but if your background is not strong, believe me, you are going to fall. Like if that background is not strong enough, believe me, you are going to fall. So you just have to do everything right at that your 100 level. Like it's the most easiest class way to get your 4 points, your 5 dots. Like 100 level is easy because you are just coming in fresh from the secondary school, and what you are being taught at 100 level is basically part of what you know in your secondary school. So it's an easy way to get started. My worst semester, yeah, see, everything wasn't rosy. Yeah, it wasn't rosy, but thank God, first semester at 100 level was one of the worst semester in FUTA, geophysics especially. But yeah, thank God for the strong background, like the strong startup, and thank God for the decision and education to just strive on to just get the best, because I would have probably given up. Yeah, I didn't have a career back then, but the result was not speaking well. Like it wasn't speaking well. I could have given up, but no. So you just have. So that's why I said your first year in school matters a lot. Your first year in school matters. Imagine having like 3 E's in 3 unit courses. Like 3 E's in 3 unit courses. That was crazy. So you just have to. If you don't start well, then your CGPA will be shaking. So then I would like to tell us, like, don't get imitated by what people say in FUTA. Like, get into FUTA, you tell somebody, oh, they ask you what course. I think now it's kind of better because the faculty is kind of producing first class, a lot of first class, and it's kind of better. Back then, when you enter FUTA, you tell them, oh, you are in geophysics or sense. It'll be like, what the fuck? Like, that department, they don't produce first class. Like this, like that. But come on, you can do it. That was my belief. If others in the past didn't do it, can't do it, I believe I can do it. So you just have to be yourself. Yes, take the advice as positive to help you do better, to help you know how serious you're going to be in the department. So if someone is telling you this, that, just take the positive part of what they are saying and apply it to yourself. So don't get intimidated by it. Then I'll talk about tutorials. Well, it's interesting. It's very, very great. Like a very, very good platform to learn. Attend tutorials, especially in your 100 levels. Organize tutorial amidst yourself. What's it called? Just to help you. Like there are a lot of fellowships back there that organized tutorial. We have BSF, we have RCF, we have GSF. We have a lot of opportunities for you guys to just learn. And and aside that, talk to your classmates. People, you know that these guys, they are good. They know more than you do. Like there's no crime in asking them to teach you. So you just do that. Then maximize your first and grade opportunity. Please maximize it very well. Like test and assignments. Like do your best. It counts. It goes a lot in defining your grade at the end of the day. Yeah, field trip, geological field trip, Gara, Bolondro, like they are perfect, like they are great. They expose you to what geology is all about. And please, I would like to say this here. As a geophysics student, please, your geology is very important. Like, take it seriously. You cannot be a geophysicist without being a geologist. Like, quote me anywhere. You cannot be a geophysicist without being a geologist, because what you are interpreting based on the geological sense. Yes, you have your data. You've arrived, you've interpreted your data, but what you have interpreted, you are bringing out geologic sense out of your geophysical data. So that shows you how geology is important. Then lecturer-student relationship, like Bodude said this, please and please, it is very, very important. Like, building a relationship with your lecturers, it is very, very important. If you check one of my publications, it was a research of between I and some of the lecturers in FUTA. Please, it is very, very important. It goes a long way in defining you, because they help you, they kind of give you recommendation letters, they know you. So if you are trying to get a recommendation letter from them, they won't just write a generic stuff. Because if they don't know you, what they will write is just a generic recommendation letter, and you will not like it. You don't want that. You want somebody that can write about you, can vouch for you. So that is where you get it from. If you don't build a relationship with them, you can't get that kind of recommendation letter from them. What you just get is just a generic one, because they are meant to do it. You ask them for you ask them for a reference, they are meant to give you the reference data. But what they will give you is generic. You want it to be personal to you. So that is why your lecturer-student relationship is very, very important. Now talk about student conference. Wow. It's great. Like, I went for my first student conference in Unilag when I was in another level. Like, I don't know anything about geophysics. I was just entering geophysics, but I saw it as an avenue for me to learn more, to know more about geophysics. It was the first African Geoscience Conference in Nigeria. It was held in University of Lagos. So it was really, really an eye-opening experience. I learned a lot from there. And please, like what Bodile said, you don't go to a conference to snap pictures. You go to a conference to network. You go to a conference to sell yourself. Oh, you go with your CV. You printed your CV out. You have like a 1 minute statement, a 1 minute pitch that you want to sell to employers. So that's what you do at the conference. You go to recruiting stand or company stand, what's it called, standpoint at the conference. You submit your what's called CV to them. You ask about what they are doing. You ask about the recent technology in the industry. So then final year research. Final year research is very, very important. Like, it's going to define you. It's going to define who you are, what you want to do with your life, what you want to do with geophysics, what you want to do in the future. I don't know if there are no geophysics students on this platform, if there are other students. Like, aside geophysics, like let's get off geophysics for a little bit. Final year research work like goes in a long way to define you. Like, you're submitting an application to grad school, they ask you, what research have you done? The only research you've done is your final year research. So you have to put in your best into your final year research. Like, what do I want to do? I want to do something outstanding. I don't want to just do what others have been doing. I don't want to just go to the library like and start copying what some people have done. No, you want to stand out because you know where you are going to. You know that this is a research work that you want to publish. This is a research work that you want to submit for grad school application. So you want to put in your best. Then God factor. See, all these things are sweet. But what is so important to you, the connecting dot for all these things is the God factor. You just have to trust God in the process. Like, you don't want to say, oh, I'm studying, I don't want to do God. I'm studying, I don't want to go to mosque. I'm studying, I don't want to go to fellowship. No, you are getting it wrong. Like, you are getting it wrong. You need to just be able to connect everything. Like, what connects everything together is a God factor. So I'll move on. Yeah, student chapter. Like, how important is the student chapter? You have AAPG, American Association of Petroleum Geologists. You have the Society of Exploration Geophysicists. You have the Society of Petrophysicists and Well Log Analysts. You have the Society of Petroleum Engineers, and a big body in Nigeria. You have the NAPE, which is Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists. Wow, these bodies, they offer a lot of things to you guys. Like, they offer a lot of opportunities to you guys. Like, you want to tap into every opportunity that comes out of these bodies. Like, there's nothing stopping you from registering as a student member of AAPG. There's nothing stopping you. I'm a geophysicist, I don't want to be a part of AAPG. Well, that is a lie. You can absolutely be a member of it. If currently this year there is the Image Conference. Image Conference is between like a collaboration with the AAPG and the Society of Exploration Geophysicists. That was the conference that was held in Denver, Colorado. Like, people in the industry don't segregate. Like, I'm a geology, I'm a geophysicist, no, they don't segregate, because what they have to do, they work together, because without geology, they cannot be geophysics. Without geophysics, a geology, you cannot interpret a geological. So both of it work hand in hand. So this mindset that I'm a geology, I'm a geophysicist, I want to tell us that we need to get it out of our mind. We are all geoscientists. Like, we are all geomen. We are all geoscientists. So be a part of AAPG, be a part of SEG, be a part of NAPE. Like, it's going to help a lot. Networking, like, it gives you networking. You go to conference, you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of people that have passed through school, they've passed through the grad school, they're in the industry, they are doing fine for themselves. That is what this platform gives you. Mentoring. Once you're able to network with people, you connect with them, you share your thoughts with them, they share their thoughts with you. You guys synchronize and they begin to mentor you. A lot of people have benefited from mentorship in FUTA. Like, I have a lot of examples that I can give you guys, like people in FUTA and even people outside of FUTA. I can give you a lot of examples. I don't know if you know, what's his name? Olawale Ibrahim, yeah, Imole, Shegun, like a lot of people have benefited from mentorship. Like, it's very great, it's very good. Please take use of this opportunity. Scholarship. This what's it called, professional bodies offer scholarships that could help you through school. APG offers scholarships to undergrad students. Same with SEG, same with NAPE, they offer grants. So, especially to final year students. So these are opportunities that you want to fake, like you want to make good use of. Internship. Wow. I would emphasize on this later in my next slide, but you could get internship from these platforms. Like, you go to SEG conference or you go to NAPE conference, you walk up to somebody and you tell the person, this is what I can do. I've learned this, I've learned that, this is my CV. Like, you connect with them, you keep the relationship. That is one thing. Once you connect with them, don't just let it go. Keep the relationship. It's very important. Relationship is very, very, very important. Learning how to keep relationship goes a lot, will determine how far or how well you will go in life. You cannot do it by yourself, but you need people to help you. And these are people that could help you. I'm not saying they're going to totally help you or give it to you, but you want to try it out. Then leadership. Wow, leadership is something you want to value while in school. I remember Swedish there's this scholarship, Sweden government scholarship. It's basically on leadership experience. Like, they want to ask you the number of hours in which you've been on a leadership position. Like, you've not spent like probably 3,000 hours on a leadership role. You cannot apply for that scholarship. So if somebody is asking you to come and take up a president of AAPG, come and be the president of NAPE, see, they are doing you a lot of good, because once you're out there, you can leverage on those platforms that, oh, I'm one-time president of this platform. This is what I've done. This is what I've achieved. So with that, you'll be able to build your leadership experience. You're able to build your leadership exposure. You talk about the AAPG IB, which is the Imparable Award. the NAPE, what's it called, competition. You want to talk about traveling out of Nigeria to attend international conferences. Yeah, people have done that in FUTA. Like I had the opportunity to present a paper at AAPG conference in South Africa. Like these are stuff, these are platforms that gives you the opportunity to do that. So conference presentation, yes, there are student conferences where you can meet with other students. If you cannot go to the international conferences, NAPE and NMGS, they organize student conference where you can kind of present your work as well. So then international conference as well. Then I would move on to, internship. Yeah, what is internship? Internship, a tool that defines your career. See, everything that you would do with your life starts from your internship. And please don't just go to internship because I want to make money. Know what you want to get out of your internship. While going on internship, I know what I want. I wanted an early industry, but I don't know how to get it. I don't have anybody. Like you have to apply, stuff like that. But through networking, through relationship, I was able to get an NPC. Like it was just networking. Somebody in the department had already gone for internship. I asked the person, he connected me to somebody. That is how it works. Like that is how it works. You just have to have somebody, you just have to have that network. You have to have somebody mentoring you. So that is that. After the internship, you go through your department, you can go through the department, you can go through conferences, you can go through probably your seniors that have done internship in the past, ask them, talk to them, they will help you out. The fact about internship, like Shegun said, it's going to define you. Like it's going to define your career, what you want to do. Do I want to work in industry? Do I want to do a research? Do I want to, like, it's just going to define, it's just everything about you. Take the opportunity seriously, learn from it, like learn from people that are in the industry during your internship. It's a period of learning. It's not a period of making money. It's a period where you need to learn skills. What you are being taught is theories in school. Now, when you get to the industry, when you have opportunity to intern, you have opportunity to apply everything you are being taught to school to the real world project. So that is what internship gives to you. And I will kind of move on to graduate school. Disappointment, besides disappointment, the commitment and result. Graduate school is not like your undergraduate application to FUTA. Yeah, it requires a lot of dedication, it requires a lot of time, it requires a lot of resources. Make your decision on time. Do I want to job hunt, or do I want to further my education? Do I want to go for graduate studies, or do I want to keep searching for a job? Like, you have to make that decision. If it's the job route you want to go through, all well and good. If it's the graduate school you want to go to, then you have to focus all of your resources to it. And if you can do both, like personally, I did both. If you can do both, it's okay, you can go for it. Be ready for rejection mails. See, I can't tell you a lot of emails, rejection emails that I got from schools, from professors. Like, if you see my email box, like they are packed with, I sent out transcripts, sent out every day. You get these kind of rejection emails, you kind of, remove. The next thing is utilize your NYSC year and resources very well. See, people tell me that I cannot save during NYSC, the money is small. I'm telling you, the money is not small. If you want to do it, you will do it. Save up NYSC to get your TOEFL, to write your TOEFL exam, to write your GRE exams, to get your international passport, get your academic transcript. If you know you are going to grad school, these are what you ought to use these are what you are meant to use your NYSC year for. Like, write your TOEFL exams. Though some schools in the US don't take TOEFL, but if you are considering the other countries, please make sure you prepare for your TOEFL and your IELTS during your NYSC year, because you have a lot of time to do that. Your GRE exam is very, very important. It gives you funding in the US. your GRE exams gives you funding in the US. It is not easy to pass, but you have to just prepare for it during your NYC. That is, those periods, those moments gives you time to prepare. Your international passport is vital to your application. Without international passport, you cannot submit application. So it is also important. Your academic transcript is also important. Take up leadership position during your undergraduate. I've said this in the past. Have your academic curriculum vitae ready. Well, I cannot say much about this right now. I believe I just kind of said your executives can organize sessions on this. Decide which aspect of geophysics do I want to go to. Be sure of this before doing your undergrad research. Like, don't just do a research because I need to do a research. Do a research because it's a platform to other things. I repeat myself, don't just do a research because I need to do a research. Do a research because it's a platform that will get you other opportunities out there. You want to be proud of the research work you do in school, send it to a professor that this is what I did during my undergrad, and I want to focus more on this area. It tells the professors that you have a sense of you've done research before. You know what it takes to do research. Please and please don't just do research for doing research sake. Research on schools and professors whose interests align with yours. Yes, you've decided this is where I want to go to. Then you research on the interest. Then from there, research on the admission requirements. What does this school need? What do they want from me? Then from there, email the professor. Make it brief, concise, straight to the point, and attach your transcript and academic certificate, academic CV to it. When you get 3 forms of response, you get some negative responses. Oh, sorry, Taiwo, I don't have a room for research student now. Oh, Taiwo, thank you for your interest in my research, but I don't have funds to finance you. Some will give you a positive response. Dear Taiwo, you have a great profile, and I'm happy to offer you space in my research lab. Oh, that's a green light for you. You apply. Dear Taiwo, I've gone through your CV and you seem to be a good fit. I would like to interview you this week. You just hit Lotto, then you apply. Then some you not get response at all. Well, not bad. You move on. Then application process. Write a winning statement of purpose or personal statement. I believe your executive can organize a session on this. Reach out to your recommenders, academic or professional. Like I said earlier on, please use somebody that can write well about you, not somebody that will give you a generic recommendation letter. You don't want that. Apply and wait for scholarship, then visa application, then mentorship. I know I've said this. Let's just conclude. Don't run with someone else's time. Trust God during the process, and it will happen at the right time. It will happen. I did a lot of applications. China, UK schools, Germany, Poland, Norway, a lot of applications, but it worked out at the right time. So just trust the process. Graduating with first class does not commensurate with being smart. I'm not saying first class is very necessary and needed, but you need to be smart with your first class. See, if you're not smart with your first class will waste away. Getting the first class is very important, but what's more important is getting smart with it. The power of networking, take it very serious. It can open those opportunities for you. Leverage on benefits provided by the professional bodies. Take your internship period serious. It goes a long way to define your career. Utilize your NYC year very well. You can get scholarship and admission during your service year, and you can leave the country during your service year. Decide fast on either you want a job or you want to graduate studies. Learn how to write a winning SOP. Have a mentor. It's very important. This man here is my mentor. I met him on LinkedIn, and it's been a lot of experience with him. That was when I go to the US. Please, mentorship is very. I don't have time to explain this, but it's very, very important. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share with you. I hope I've been able to reach out to some souls and minds there. And if you have any questions, I would be here to answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taiwo. We'll be taking a question after Moya, you have spoken. So I want to introduce Imole Ayo now. So Imole Ayo, our next speaker is Imole Ayo Fashagba. Imole Ayo Fashagba also finished from the Department of Applied Geophysics in 2017, and he is now at IFP School in France studying petroleum geosciences. He has internships with major oil and gas company in the world. So I would like to pass the mic to Imole Ayo Fashagba. Please, Taiwo, can you please make Imole host now?
Okay, I would do that. Sorry.
Please, Imole, can you turn on your video?
Yes, just in a moment. Okay. Okay. All right. Can you see me now?
Yes, you can.
Can you share your screen now?
Okay, so no, I can't. Host disable participant sharing screen.
Wow. Sorry.
I can't share my screen now.
I think something is wrong here. Just put down.
Still can't share.
You still can't share?
Yeah, I don't know what's.
Okay.
Okay, I think I can share now. Screen 2. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much for the introduction and everything, and thanks to the previous speakers. I mean, they've said most of the important points, and it's very cool to have heard from them and actually heard more from Taiwo, because I joined in a bit late, and so sorry about that. And so what I want to do instead is more of to talk a bit about how it started for me and where I am right now. And maybe there are one or two things that people can pick up from this. And you see that most of, as I go on with the story, that you see that some of the things that I'll be saying would corroborate with the things that Taiwo and Shogun has talked about. And by the way, they are also my seniors and from school, and it was good time for me to have interacted with them and also got to know about them. So I'll start. So my before actually, can you hear me? Because I'm hearing echo of myself actually. So it's a bit.
Yes,
I think someone else is not on mute, so it's kind of like echoing on my on. Okay, but I'll just go on. So like everyone else, I was thinking, what is it that I wanted to study, if I wanted to do applied geophysics or not, or I wasn't quite sure of what I wanted to do first while I was in my senior secondary school. So this is me more or less more like thinking about what to do. And then during that time, I had like a senior colleague, more like a home tutor, who was taking me tutorials. And this time he was also trying to get admission into school. And he got admission into FUTA to study electronics engineering. And I discussed with him. Then he told me about the different courses that were available. And at that point, I had some interest in petroleum engineering. But then I decided he told me about geology, geophysics, and then I read much more about it. And that way I got more interested in geophysics because I already had good interest in geography right from time. So I felt like, okay, this was a good comfort zone for me. And at that point, I felt like, yeah, I was going to do this. So I applied to FUTA after taking the JAM and got admission to study geophysics here. So that's the first point of like, I forget like these three triangles here, people, collaboration, and myself, which is like for me, I see it more like where I am right now has been a result of the people, most of the people I've over time integrated with, talked to, got to know, the collaboration, that is people I've worked with, and myself, that is even paying attention to your own self-development and how you can improve. So at this point, I got into FUTA, and then I started more with the student fellowship, and this was more of the first point of motivation for me. And I remember then in the student fellowship, we had about 5 final year, we call them brethren then, brothers who were actually in geophysics. And one of them was popularly called Neo Brainy, which was quite popular then also in uh, in geophysics department. And I got to interact with them. And at that point, they told me about geophysics and the prospects that were there. So when I got to school, I was more like, okay, this normal student. I didn't have all the big picture. But the more you interact with people, the more you start getting information about things that could be relevant. So for example, I remember then I spoke to one of the brothers called Bro Daniel, and he told me about the opportunities, how I could get involved in different organizations such as SCG, APG. I didn't know about them before, but I got all this valuable information when I was in 100 level. Initially, I used to be uh, like the guy that I just want to be reserved, do what I want to do. But I figured out that sometimes you just need to go out of your space and get involved with people, learn from tasks, learn from different projects, so you can get along and so that you can build up yourself in terms of different attributes, things that will shape your life experiences and shape who you are as a person. So I started more taking off a very simple role as being like the MTS course rep, and then went on to getting to meet people in my class, getting to know people. And then at 200 level, I became this, I actually volunteered to be a SCGPRO by taking part in this. And then in 300 level was AAPG president and got to work with different people also. And so at this point, right from 100 level straight into 200, 300 level, it wasn't just about the books or learning from the four walls of the classroom and okay, having good grades, but more beyond having good grades, it was like getting involved in student associations, and this getting involved in them, there are other many benefits like what Taiwo has mentioned, and I can't like overemphasize on them, which are actually very good. And one thing I would also like to tell people, like when I did all this, is I noticed like then right then in school when we used to do a lot of these activities, a lot of people did this. Why? Because they had like something they wanted to get from it. Like they always wanted to get, maybe it's the money or it's the fame, or maybe they're just doing it because they want to make connection. I mean, for me, I didn't see it that way. I did it because I wanted to uh, get the opportunity to collaborate, meet people. That is doing things for the genuine reasons of them, which actually gives you the opportunity to become a better person, and not just for like selfish reasons entirely. And through that way, I got to develop myself much better. So at the point when had to get our internship role, I got into Davik Petroleum International first. And like what the previous speakers have said, like when you interact with people and you meet with people, that's how I got my first internship position at Danvik. How did it happen? So I was in school one day with my friends. We were in the new SEMS building where it was the geophysics class, and then we got the opportunity. And then there was someone who works with Shell, Professor, we call him Dr. Adesida, and he used to work with Futa as a lecturer. And then he came there and interacted with the students, asked some questions. And afterwards, I walked up to him. That's where sometimes you need to take the bold confidence, the step, talk to people. I mean, the worst you can get sometimes is a no, but if you can try to open up and ask for help. You never know how people can help. I spoke to him. I was like, I'm actually trying to get internship opportunity here to get a place. I'll be glad to know how it will be possible. And then he actually gave me his contacts. I think myself and two other of my colleagues walked up to him that day. And what I did more was I kept following up with him. I followed up, and at a point he was able to help me talk in terms of talking to someone in the company, and I had to send my CV. And I think they liked my profile. I had to talk to the person who owns the company, like a very short discussion on phone. And when he saw that, okay, this is kind of person he would like to work with, he then invited me over. So that's like one experience I would like to tell people. Like, so while I was in David Petroleum International, like I try as much as possible to get the valuable experience. I remember this is where I started building up more of my presentation skills, which were like very helpful. At Danvik, they were making us like doing presentation every week. So it was really cool. And then shortly afterwards, I got into ExxonMobil for my internship also. And this was because I had previously written the ExxonMobil aptitude test, but I was waiting for the results. And okay, so I would just like to state this like, I don't know, sometimes we face challenges as students, like maybe you don't have money sometimes for data or for internet, but I could have missed this ExxonMobil opportunity. Why? Because during this point in time, when they actually sent me the mail, I wasn't having data on my phone to access my email for a period of time. So that's why it's important to stay up to date to at least try to get access to information. So they have sent me the email of getting this position like almost 3 or 4 weeks before I even accepted it. And I realized I could have actually started more the actual time when I was supposed to start in April, but I started a bit late because then other people had got in, so I had to wait for another round. So that's really important. Just like one of the things I just wanted to state here. And so after my internship, I got back to school, and this is where I started having more feel about collaborations like working with school projects. Like I remember then, especially in final year, they made us do right from third year we've been collaborating, but in final year we started taking more of like teamwork project presentations. The lecturers there were like, they were really amazing because like I thought at the point you feel like they're overworking you, but it was really building you because these things are important and they actually shape your experiences. And for example, you find out that some people are difficult to work with in the team or some funny things happen, but you don't necessarily have to be annoyed about it. You just need to be happy like you're having all these experiences. Why? Because you talk about it, you never know what kind of question can come in your interview. And all the experiences you're having in your life is like, boom, you can talk about something. And this is what I talk about. Like, then collaboration in the sense that also like getting to work with friends, like what previous speaker has said, be open to the friends, to people around you, and not being like a lone ranger. I remember this is when I started. I knew Taiwo before, but right in my final year, I got more interaction with him. And in fact, he was the one who introduced me into freelance, and we started talking more. And we did a lot of projects then. You can imagine at final year, we were like already like trying to do some projects that's for geology, geophysics, in terms of what we could do. And this was not just limited to Nigeria, but outside the country, and making relevant connections. And some of the connections I still keep in contact with them from this freelance job I had done back then. So which are like very valuable experience. So that's it. Like if, for example, I never uh got in touch or was being myself, never got to be with or talk to Taiwo, I probably wouldn't have known about the opportunity. So that's just like one aspect of it. So after school and after doing my projects, my school projects, delivering on my thesis work, right, I then went on for NYSC. And yeah, this is again a good avenue, right? Because if you're going to go in there into the world, you need to start thinking about not just yourself, but what impact you can give to the world itself. And that was the point I started knowing about the SDGs more. I knew a bit about the Millennium Development Goals before, but at this point, the SDGs became something strong and was really being promoted. And so how did I get to know about SDGs? It was during the camp in Lagos when I was talking to one of my friends, was a female friend. We're like talking, and she was like, "Oh, I would like to join SDGs because we're discussing about different CDS group, community development service to join." And we interacted, talked about SDGs. I looked at how this was in line with the future of geoscience and where it fits into my own goals. And I decided to go into this, and that's where I collaborated again more. I remember collaborating with Yanu Aladino in geology department, and also with Adeyeye, which is in more in agricultural department, and was a very cool guy also. So three of us all came together. We're doing things, working together as part of our CDS uh, uh, our CDX activities, and we really got to interact with school students, also take part in different activities. So these are like experiences that shaped me over time and were very good experience for me. During this time, I also took up the opportunity to be the uh, local chapter EAG Nigeria. I was part of this when the like local chapter for the YPs actually started up. So I was the general secretary then, and got to meet people who I interacted with, and was also working as a geoscience training intern at Aqua Point Integrated. And this is where everything you do really matters. Like you find out that you're not entirely like perfect in everything you do. You make mistakes. While I was working, I got real time experience. Like it's good. You can make mistakes on the project. I made mistakes on the project, but I was fortunate enough to have very good mentors around me then in this industry who were like, say, okay, this is understandable, and they were able to walk me through it. So what I do mean here is always put in your efforts, like what you find doing, do it well. But when you do make mistakes, you don't have to make yourself get down. You can only like try to get better. So this is like where I started shaping up myself in terms of getting more technical experience, worked more with engineers, not just related to geophysics or geology like I was doing in previous internship, but worked with other aspects of people who were in business development and other aspects. And then at this point, like everyone, we like most of my friends at that point in time, like we were all looking for opportunities to go all the way from Nigeria, either to the US, whichever part of the world. But for me, I wasn't really applying to the US opportunities because uh, at that point in time, I felt I needed to take a GRE, but I didn't have the time to do it. But right now, even most GREs are being waived. So, but now, then I applied to mostly to Europe, and then I got a lot of rejections, I would say, for most of the scholarships I applied to. And that's another thing, like rejections are things that will come along the way, but it's how you pick yourself and get better, which is important. And just when I thought like, okay, I'd lost hope of everything and all would probably not work out again that year, I got the opportunity to go study in Poland and moved on to Poland. Started, it was a funny one because it wasn't something that I had to start geophysics exactly. I had to learn Polish language for about 9 months. So you can imagine, like, even when I was telling people I was moving to Poland, it was like, dude, it's like, you have to learn Polish. So, but yeah, but the good thing is I saw it like it's myself. I'm improving myself. Like I get the opportunity to learn a new language, to immerse myself in a new culture, to get to meet new people, go far away, interact with people. You know, sometimes some delays in what you seek to achieve in life, uh, as long as you know you are still on the right course. But I didn't see it like a delay for me. So I felt like it was an opportunity for me to do something new at the point in time, even staying out of geophysics for a while. So this was just a little bit about the experience there. And I met very good people, and then move on to, after a year, I moved on to AGH. And I would say very open and friendly people there, because I could remember my first day in class, everyone walked up to me and they were introducing themselves. So it was really amazing. And yeah, boom, right before, while I was in Poland, I'd previously been applying to opportunities, and then I got IFP school while I was there. But what I would just like to say is I also got the opportunity to do internship there in Poland. And why was because I thought to myself, like, I didn't just want to leave without getting a work experience there, and or doing something, outside just academic activities. And this was even during the time of COVID. And what I did was, sometimes you just need to take the bold step. I was sending out emails to different research institutes, different companies. A lot of them were just like, they can't take you, we can't take you right now because of COVID. Unfortunately, one of them just like, yeah, we have the space, you can come in and work with us for a month, and that will be cool. And that was cool, right? Because I got the opportunity to work with people there in the company, and even collaborated with them. And even right now, we worked on things that we discovered something, we're currently putting out publication for that, like trying to see how we can put out a publication. So that's like one aspect where you sometimes you need to take both efforts to really sending out emails or trying to look out for opportunities. Like what Taiwo have said, sometimes you send out emails to professors, you might get like rejections or no, but you just need to keep pushing for it. So, and afterwards, I got opportunity to IFP, which I had previously been applying for. In fact, I applied the previous year, got a rejection. But while I was in Europe, I wanted to actually do petroleum geosciences as MSc, and I felt like, okay, let me put in again for this application. And this time, it worked fine for me. And what really was amazing was because when I did the interview with Equinor, that you can see I could talk. So the interview with Equinor, the first question that I was asked was like, tell us, tell us about yourself. Tell us everything about yourself. And I felt a bit puzzled at first. I was like, do you mean like everything? Because this person wanted to know my life story. Like, okay, you're in Poland all the way from Nigeria. And I wasn't doing geophysics at that point in time, was doing studying Polish. So like, what's like the whole story about? So because I had experiences that I built over the years, I could talk all the way from where I started down to this point, and I could make up a coherent story. So at interviews, like you could start talking about things about yourself, like you can't frame them up because you've actually experienced these things, and then you can talk about these things yourself. So, and this was how I felt like really gave me good opportunity to sell myself and got into IFP. And at IFP school, still trying to get involved in APG student activities, SCG activities here. Was also part of the IBA competition, like what Taiwo talked about. And also I would like to mention, like for this IFP school, I actually got SCG grants. So this also falls back to all the different association that you have, where you can talk about, where you can get information, not just about conferences, meeting people, or learning things, but there are also opportunities for grants for things that you can get in place there. So I applied for SCG grant and I got it. And so this is like a story about myself. Like I felt like, okay, taking a different dimension to it. Like previous speakers, I said most of the important things, but how it is like you can really start tapping up in opportunities. It's never too late. If you've not been doing all these things, you can, all of you are still in school. If you get out of school right from your NYC, start making valuable networks, and start building up yourself, collaboration. And these three things will definitely help you. And I believe you can all get opportunities that way and information. And thank you very much for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, Imole Fashapa. And thank you. You know, I reached out to you first. You know, I did not even know Taiwo or Shegun. You were the one that asked me to contact them. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So if you have questions, please you can raise your hand. You use the chat box or raise your hand. Is there anyone that has questions? So I think someone said in the group, the chat box, someone said you should share, if you can share your contact. That's Temitayo said you should share your contact for networking. Since you said it's very important for us to network, and we want to start by networking with you guys now. So maybe you can share your LinkedIn.
No problem. I would send my LinkedIn profile to you, Rafiat. Then I think you have my contact.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that is my Nigerian line. I will kind of try to send my US line to you as well. Then I think I have a question here. Thank you, Taiwo. There were a lot of lessons to pick from your presentation. You mentioned GRE gives funding in the US, but considering that a lot of schools are waiving it, what do you think could serve this purpose now? And do you still recommend writing it? I finished from physics this year, and our research interest about that. Okay, I would like to say that there are a lot of schools that are waiving GRE, and you want to take the opportunity right now. And the reason being that they waive GRE because of COVID. Like I leveraged on the opportunity as well. I leveraged on I wrote GRE, but I didn't use GRE. So I leveraged on the opportunity as well, and that got me to where I am. So if you need to leverage on not taking GRE, please do leverage on it. But you have how the review process works is that if a school told you that they are not taking GRE, what that are kind of doing a holistic review of your process. Now they are going to look at your statement of purpose. They are not some schools don't take GRE, they waive it. Your statement of purpose is very, very important. Like you guys need to learn how to write a winning SOP. Like it goes a long way in your application process. Like I said again, take up leadership experiences. They look out for volunteers. Like you've taken up leadership roles before. What have you done? Your CV. What publications do you have? It's not necessary for you to have a publications. Like you don't need to. Oh, I don't have a publication. I cannot apply. It's not necessary. That's why I said your research work in your final year can save you the stress. That's why I said when working on your final year project, don't just work on any project. Like don't just work because I want to get a degree, because I want to leave FUTA. Please work on something unique. I think Wale is here, and seriously, okay, the reason I'm still talking about Wale is because I got to know him and on LinkedIn, and so I've seen stuff that he has done, and I know the project. I kind of relate the project he work on. Like these are stuff that create opportunity for you out there. These are stuff that create opportunity for you out there. Like I don't just work on any other project. Work on projects that are relevant to your grad school if that is the intention. So leave GRE apart. Focus on, if you want to focus on school without GRE, yes, it's fine. They are going to give you funding. So far, you meet your SOP is cool. So far, your CV is great. So far that you meet up with your, what's it called, your academic transcripts qualifies you. So these are the stuff that they look at, the three things they look at. And some schools have also developed a sort of questions to replace GRE. Kansas State University kind of came up with a set of questions to replace GRE. So they've even waived GRE totally. So during the application, you answer those questions and you submit it. Then also you reach out, depending on the professor you are reaching out to, you reach out to the professor. If he gives you a green light to apply to it with all those stuff. GRE is not a barrier. If they ask you that they don't need GRE, they don't need it. Like if a school is telling that we are waiving GRE, that means they are waiving it. There's no lie about it. But if they're not waiving it, you have to write it.
Thank you so much for the answer. Please Messi or Onopemi, please can you unmute yourself and speak?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you so much, for the also to the three speakers. Thanks so much for the insightful presentation. I really learned a lot. Yeah, my question goes to the three speakers, if I'm not to the presentation. So my question is based on experience. Few months ago, let me just say a few months ago, yes, I applied for an internship outside the country, and we are like few that applied for me from FUTA representing Nigeria, and we are selected for the interview. And during the interview, we did this interview successfully. And when we get the feedback from them, they told us that we are over experienced for the internship. Is it my question is now that are we going to limit ourselves to what they asked for in the internship, or what are we going to do? Because we put out our bed like okay, let's, and it was like how am I going to say it? Like we put all our write-offs, our experience, our leadership, everything into the write-offs, and the interview were like the email they sent to us that we are over experienced for the internship, and if there's other opportunity, you'll get back to us. And what are we going to do concerning that? And also this question goes to Mr. Taiwo and the first speaker too. Thank you.
Okay. Should I go first? Is Shago still online?
Okay, I'm online. Okay, let me say something little. Okay, well, I think that can happen. Okay, so well, I don't know, but I want to think there are two reasons for that. If somebody's okay, your experience for the internship. Definitely, as long as they saw that they must have asked for some certain level of students, something for the internship or whatever, definitely you qualify for the internship. But for them to say maybe you're overqualified, I believe probably they're just trying to maybe win your interest there. Or sometimes, now when you want, okay, like I was attending this talk by someone from PP, was it last week in school, and he was talking about, you as a person, you need to have what he calls a master CV, where you have like all the experiences you've ever had in your life. But then when you want to apply to a specific position anywhere, you sift through your master CV and then put things there. Let me say this. If you have maybe a master's degree and then you see some kind of internship. Now, as long as they don't say the person should still be a student, okay? They say they want someone who's graduated, but they just say, oh yeah. And when you look at the adverts, you will tend to have a kind of feel of what they need. If you feel they're looking for more of someone who has a BSc, there is no need to include the masters, right? That's personally, I don't know. I feel you just, by looking at the application, you'll be able to see through what they want, because they do that a lot these days, because the industry is kind of, I don't know if I mean the industry, but it's kind of crowded. So sometimes they use that to push some people out. Sometimes they say, okay, you definitely must have a PhD, whatever. So this kind of things, you should be able to look at opportunities and understand the best way to go for them, because actually these things do happen. They can tell you you're overqualified. It does happen actually. I've heard it from different people. So I think that's just what I'll say short, and maybe I will have more to say about that.
Okay, thank you, from Shegun. The thing is, while in Nigeria, like I think I do all this, like what Shegun was right. We all does apply with a single CV. Like you send out your master CV that you already have, all your work experience, everything. You send it out for a job. But on coming here, I need to learn you need a one-page CV, and it has to be streamlined to the job position, to the job role. Like they don't need all your story of the work experiences you've had in several places. They need just work roles that are peculiar to that. So probably what you sent out was much for them, and they feel like, well, what we are looking for is just an intern, not somebody that has done it all or know it all. So they want someone that they could probably groom from the start, build. That is what I feel like. So probably next time when you're doing your probably application, you try to streamline your CV according to the job request. I hope that answers your questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And also, Mr. Taiwo, I will spend few hours with you in 2019 at Omeye GISD. I know I can't even know if you could remember.
Okay.
Yeah, true, Jeff.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think is that somebody want me to explain on job hunt and grad school, right?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Now, see, like I said, it is two options. I think Imole can talk on this. It is two options. It's either I want to go through the job work and hunting for and going for masters together at the same time, or I decide that I want to just go for my masters. Like it's two options. It's two options. But if you know that the job you will take is going to limit you from pursuing your grad school studies, I bet it with you. You don't want to lose the opportunity. You don't want to take that kind of a job. You have a lot of opportunities out there that is going to even pay you more than the current job is paying you. I'm telling you, you have a lot of opportunity out there that is going to pay you more than what your current job is paying you. So if you have a kind of a work that you know that cannot allow you prepare for your grad school application, please, you can probably just take a year of work and use a year to pursue your grad school with all your strength. Now, I work for a boss that, like where I work, I offer a boss like I have this leverage to do anything. Like I can literally apply for schools. Like the work I'm doing is not in quote that difficult. Like I have that time to myself to do other things, and I have a kind of boss that supports everything I do. Like he supports everything I do. He's my boss, is my mentor. Like I got to know him through LinkedIn, and that was it. So if you know that the person you are working with can support you, well, it's all well and good. But if you know that it's going to draw you back from getting that dream, like from if a grad school is your dream, if graduate school is what you dream of, then you might want to just focus on applying and like channeling your strength to prepare for GRE. See, preparing for GRE is not an easy task. It's not an easy task. So if that would suffice, please go for it. I think I don't know if Imole have any other things to add to what I've just said.
Okay, what I would just add, like you've said most of the key points, like really it's about, do you want to work or you want to go for grad school? But sometimes people say like sometimes the work experience itself can be of added value, like the experience you've gotten from your work. And it's just about being able to create time, how you manage your time. Like if you're working, what are you using your weekends for? Are you even if you don't have time during the week, are you setting out time during the weekend to see how you can apply for grad school? Like I said, in my own situation, I was working, and the kind of job I was doing, because I was kind of like at that point I was working for a service company during after my uh, uh, school, and it was like a lot of job we were doing, and I was really learning a lot on the project that I felt like, okay, I didn't have that enough time to uh, get ready for GRE. So, and for me, I didn't want to quit the job then also, but I needed the experience for uh, what the future lies ahead. So I then decided, okay, I was still applying to other regions of the world, like applying to Europe. And also, then I remember I reached out to people professors in Canada and even some in US. So it's it's how you are able to manage your time. So if you have job, you can take it and try to see how you manage the time. And it's a thing of priority. Like everyone have interest. Like where do you want to really be? Some people want to be in North America, some want to be in Europe, some want to be in Australia. So there are all these countries have their peculiarities in terms of application. Some is like GRE, some place emphasis on IELTS, or some, depending on the kind of school you'll be going to, they expect that you have a bit of work experience for the kind of courses you'll be doing. So you just set the priorities right and know how to play along with them.
Then also let me add one more thing to it. Please, grad school is not like something like if I don't, is it not a do or die affair? Like, right? It's not a do or die affair. You guys need to just take it step by step. Now I remember then I and Mole tried to kind of put into Unilag. See, why applying for grad school outside the country? Don't forget the fact that time is going, time is not on your hand. So if you are like, oh, grad school or nothing else, don't forget that time is going. At the end of the day, you might not even get that grad school. Like, let's be factual here. It's not everybody that will get out of the country for a grad school. Like, I need to be factual here. We are all saying that grad school, grad school. Some of us have gone through a lot before even getting through it. And some people, it work for them immediately. So you just need to know that things work at the right time. And it takes process. And if one is not working, take advantage of the opportunity that is before you. We put in for what's it called, the Unilag part-time masters before he finally got his offer to go to Poland. I didn't finish my masters as well in Unilag. I opted out. I didn't finish out as well when the US opportunity comes calling. Where I started it. So these are tips that I want you guys to go on with from here. It's not a do or die affair that they proclaim on Twitter. Oh, Japa. Like, it's not a do or die affair, my brother. You just need to take. Yes, I need to. Yeah, all of us want to leave the country, fine, but you need to take it step by step and trust the process. Trust the process. You will get a lot of rejections. But just trust the process, and you will be fine.
Okay.
There is a question here. Are we out of time? There's a question here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a question here about I think so websites for apply for both local and foreign opportunities. Yeah. Okay. Actually, like I said, one funny thing is it's not the only one, but if you go to Google and just type graduate assistantship in the US or graduate assistantship anywhere in the world, you'll see, I think, a LinkedIn link will come up, and if you click on that link, you'll see like at least 20,000 opportunities there, different courses. Okay, it's on LinkedIn. So I believe that LinkedIn is the #1 place that you want to be on. You would see, like when I was my communities, there's this professor who's always been someone like a mentor to me. I've always like looked at him. Maybe I started doing my LinkedIn stuff. I connected with him on LinkedIn, send messages once in a while. He's a asset, one very like genius rock physics in Norway, and he just posted an opportunity there. So it was a bit late for me because I already saw where I wanted to go. So I reached out to him there. So you see this opportunity flying left, right, center. Okay. One thing is, like Tyrell was saying and Ash was saying, the truth is, you have to just have, I don't know how to put it, a plan B for your future, in the sense that, well, yes, it definitely might be, what's it called, the job you want. But personally, if I didn't just get maybe opportunity to do a master's and I got a job or something, I would have started, but definitely quit along the way. But then again, what kind of job? There are some kind of jobs that I don't want to say they are addictive, but a job. I don't know how to explain the word of the job in Addictive, but exactly it's too sweet. I don't know how to explain it, but you just get it and then you just don't want to quit.
You feel convenient, you feel comfortable.
Exactly, you just feel too comfortable. You don't want to quit. So one thing is, if a job is not what you want, I believe the best thing is to try to find maybe a part-time job or a job that is not as demanding as something that will take away the time you want, okay, to apply for this. So, but about the links, LinkedIn is one, and I can't remember the rest, but I think my name is there. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I can sort out some of them because there are some of these websites I registered on till today, and they still send me links of these opportunities, this, that. Like I have like 6 of them.
Hello.
This person needs to be mute.
Please mute yourself.
Can you mute yourself?
Okay, so please just reach out to me on LinkedIn. I can search out some of these links and send to you. Okay, so there are lots of them, and there are many even within Nigeria. Okay, like actually even the same with me. I applied to UI because of the mentor I had gotten from a NAPI conference, right? I went to that first NAPI mini conference. I think I was 2016, right? Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, 2016 UI.
Yeah, UI.
Hello. Please, what's her name? What's the person's name?
Rodiat.
Okay.
Rodiat. I think it's Rodiat.
Oh, okay. Right, which of them? Okay, thank you. So, like I said, I had built up a mentorship with the kind of the HOD of the Geoscience or Geology Department in UI. So I wanted to go there because it would be easier for me at least to get a mentor and someone. So, but after applying there, opportunity came, I just left. And so, like I said, so I was also having different alternatives. If this one doesn't work out, I'll start something else. So don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Whatever it is that you want from life, remember that it definitely will not come all at once. You might have to pass through a different route together. And personally, okay, I never wanted to go to China or Asia to study. That's the truth. But the funny thing is, when I got there, I got to understand that the truth is this, and it's the funny truth. There are more opportunities in Asia than anywhere in the world. That's the truth. Like China has so much money they're just doling out. That's the truth. Okay, like every single year they get to give out about more from the Chinese government, you know, about 300 times. Let's say about 50,000 scholarships alone from the Chinese government, minus what the universities have to offer. So South Korea has the same, and one of the most high-paying scholarships that I know of, I don't know the rest, is in Hong Kong, right? Like, it's something that you get to like earn a lot and then enjoy doing a graduate school or whatever. So there are lots of opportunities there. I believe people are not looking into those, well, because nobody wants to go to Asia, but I promise you, when you go there, you'll love it. So just explore. I think that's all I can say. So for the link, please just contact me. I'll get them from my mail and send them to you. I think, yeah, I'm done. So I'm done. Already at?
Okay. I think we don't have any other question. Let's.
Since there's no other question, we'd like to thank all our speakers, Mole Ayo, Oshun Ride, Shegun. We say a very big thank you from SCG FUTA chapter. We also want to thank all the students for participating in this wonderful seminar. God bless you all.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting us to give this talk, and we'll be more than happy anytime you call on us to talk more on other opportunities. Yeah, thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I really appreciate it, sir.
Bye.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.